Welcome back to day 13. Here's something that surprises almost everyone. When you type a message to an AI, it does not read it the way you do. It doesn't see letters, and it doesn't even quite see words. It sees these things called tokens, little chunks of text. And this isn't some obscure technical detail. It quietly controls how much your AI costs, how much it can remember, and even why it sometimes can't count the letters in a word. Today we'll crack open exactly how AI reads text, and we'll run a real tokenizer to watch it happen. Let's dig in. So let's start with the big idea. Before an AI model ever looks at your text, that text gets chopped up into pieces called tokens. A token is just a chunk of text. Sometimes a token is a whole word, sometimes it's a piece of a word, and sometimes it's just a bit of punctuation. This chopping up step is called tokenization, and it happens to everything. Your prompt going in and the model's reply coming out. The model literally never sees the raw letters. It only ever works with these tokens. That one fact explains a surprising amount. Let's get concrete about what these chunks look like. A token is simply a piece of text, and the size varies. Really common words, like the, and, or cat, are usually a single token each. But rarer or longer words get split into smaller word pieces. And little things matter too. A space, a comma, an exclamation point can each be their own token. As a rough rule of thumb, one token is about 4 characters of English, or very roughly 3/4 of a word. But the only way to really see it is to watch a sentence get split. So let's do that. Here's a simple sentence. AI reads unbreakable text. To you, that's 4 words. But watch how the tokenizer actually chops it up. AI is 1 token. Reads is 1 token. But look at unbreakable. It doesn't stay whole. It splits into 3 separate pieces, un, break, and able. Then text, and the period. So this short 4-word sentence is actually 7 tokens to the model. And see those numbers under each chunk? Every token also has an ID number, because deep down, the model doesn't even work with the text pieces. It works with these ID numbers. That's the real input to the AI. Now you might wonder, why chop words into weird pieces at all? Why not just use whole words? It's actually a clever trick. If the model only knew whole words, it would choke the first time it met a new or made-up word. But by breaking rare words into common sub-pieces, it can handle absolutely any text you throw at it, even a word it has never seen, by spelling it out of familiar chunks. Common words stay fast and compact as single tokens, while rare ones get built from pieces. Enough talk. Let's run the real deal. We're going to use the exact same tokenizer that GPT-4 uses under the hood, and feed it a few words to see how it splits them. We'll look at how many characters each word has versus how many tokens it becomes. And I especially want you to watch what happens to the word strawberry, because it's a perfect little example of why this matters. Let's look at the code. Here's the whole thing, and it's short. We import TikToken, which is the real tokenizer library, and load the exact encoding GPT-4 uses. Then, for each piece of text, we call encode, which turns the text into that list of token ID numbers we saw. And we decode each ID back, just so we can see what each token piece actually is. So we're printing the text, how many tokens it became, and the pieces themselves. Let's run it and look closely at strawberry. And there it is. Look at strawberry. It's 10 letters, but to the AI it is not 1 word. It's 3 tokens, str, and berry. This is the famous reason AI models sometimes stumble on questions like, how many R's are in strawberry? The model never actually sees the individual letters. It sees str, berry, so counting letters is genuinely awkward for it. Look at I love AI. For tokens, notice the space is bundled onto the front of each word. And tokenization becomes token plusization. The model is reading in chunks, always. So let this reframe how you think about AI. The model doesn't experience text as a stream of letters the way you do. It experiences it as a sequence of these token chunks, and really, as their ID numbers. That's why a task that's trivial for you, like counting the letter R in strawberry, can trip up a powerful model. It's not stupid, it's just literally not looking at letters. It's looking at str, berry. Once you know it thinks in tokens, a lot of its quirks suddenly make sense. And this isn't just trivia. Tokens hit your wallet and your limits. When you use an AI through an API, you are billed per token for both what you send in and what it sends back. The context window, the model's short-term memory we'll cover soon, is measured in tokens, not words. So more tokens means higher cost, slower responses, and less room to remember. This is why people who build with AI care so much about token counts, and why a tighter, cleaner prompt can genuinely save money at scale. Tokens are the unit of everything. Let's lock it in. AI reads text as tokens, chunks that are often word pieces, not as individual letters or always whole words. Common words are usually a single token, while rarer ones split into smaller pieces, and each token is really just an ID number to the model. And because everything, cost, speed, and the memory limit, is measured in tokens, they quietly shape how AI works and what it costs. So strawberry being 3 tokens isn't a fun fact. It's a window into how these models actually see the world. So that's tokens, the real chunks of text an AI reads, instead of the letters and words you and I see. And you watched a real tokenizer split a sentence and turn strawberry into 3 pieces. Now that we know how the model reads our text, the natural next question is, how do we write that text well? How do we ask for what we actually want? That's the art of prompting, and it's tomorrow's topic, prompts and prompt basics. Thanks for building with me today. See you tomorrow on AI in 5. And that's a wrap on tokens. If this made things click, do me one quick favor. Hit that like button, drop a comment with what you want explained next, and subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Coming up tomorrow, we tackle prompts, how to actually talk to AI and get exactly what you want. Tap the video on screen, and I'll see you there.